So before you guys watch this video, just know this. I finished this video, edited this video, was fixing to save the video, and I'm telling y'all, for about 5 minutes, I thought Hammer was going into full-blown bloat. That is my 6-year-old German Shepherd. He ate really fast because I gave him some really good food tonight, and he was super excited. When he got through, he came out to meet me from making the video, and he began to make this horrendous noise, and he laid down and he belched like a grown adult. He's inside. I've spoken to the emergency vet. I'm not even going to tell you how much they told me I'd have to give him up front before he's even seen. Please pray. Please pray. This is the type of stuff that is just life, but it is also spiritual attacks. Because what is he trained to do? He's trained to protect me. He's my best friend. So when I made this video telling you how to save your children post-abuse, Satan immediately went after my dog. Mama said my child. And I firmly believe that, folks. So I'm asking all of y'all, I know there's so much in the world to pray for. Just ask God to keep Hammer safe. Because I'm telling y'all, like, I really thought his stomach flipped. I'll keep you guys updated about him. Please watch this video where no children are around. Hello, friends and family of the internet. Welcome back to Starkey Farmstead. So my name is Samantha. This topic is going to be disturbing to some of you. If you have any small children around you, I am requesting that you remove them from the sound of my voice. Now that we've gotten through the preliminaries. What happens after you find out that someone has abused your child? Physically, sexually, mentally. But I am more discussing the second one. After you turn them into the police, you file a report with Child Protective Services. The next thing that you have to do, folks, is you have to teach your child boundaries. Listen to me. I've gone through this personally with 3 of my 4 children. The hardest thing about dealing with this type of trauma is that it's from a person, usually, that they should be able to trust with their life. So the first thing you have to do is teach them. You have to teach them self-control. You have to teach the child self-control. I know. Some of you right now are saying, Sam, what are you talking about? Shouldn't the adult have self-control? They should, and they didn't. So now the child will not have self-control either. The things that you're going to have to work on is that, 1, it doesn't happen to your child again, because children who are abused attract abusers because they're pre-groomed, folks. This is the truth of it. Second thing, you don't want your child to be a perpetrator and abuse another child because they're doing what was done to them. Now, as hard as that is to hear me say, I'm only telling you the truth. How do you teach your child boundaries? The first and foremost thing you have to teach your child is that no means no. If you tell them no, do not repeat yourself. Do not make excuses for them. Have a punishment in place beforehand. If they're old enough, 4 and older, they're old enough to know consequences. So you tell them, if you do A, mommy, daddy is going to do B. In a discussion, they do A, you do B. No emotions to it, folks. No means no. Why is that so important? Because your child was abused. Their no did not mean no. Their boundaries were pushed. They were groomed. The sad thing about abuse from people that know your child is that 90% of the time it doesn't physically hurt all the time. Guys, don't start nitpicking with me. Listen to what I'm telling you. The perpetrator makes it feel good so that the child doesn't need to go to the hospital or tell mommy. Okay? Now, I know I'm being a bit harsh, but I think people need to understand the reality behind that. I have a master's in early childhood, special ed, regular ed. You guys know all of this. Told you before, if you would have asked me what my title would have been, it would have been behavior modification specialist. So I am telling you what I did for my children and what I would tell anybody in this situation. After you set boundaries, Firm boundaries. Okay, bedtime is 8 o'clock during the week, period. No excuses. No pushing it to 8:05. Because let me tell you something. Your child's boundaries were pushed. Therefore, what is the child going to exhibit? The behavior of pushing boundaries. So you, the parent, now have to stop feeling sorry for the child and help them recover. And the best way to do that is to give them securities. Boundaries equal security. You feel safe when you know how somebody's going to react every time something's done. I know it sounds odd to people, especially in today's world. Hammer, come. I'm doing that right now with my German Shepherd. I was working on boundaries. Why? Because it gives him a sense of security when he knows how I'm going to respond to a behavior. Children are much like dogs. There's a gentleness and a sweetness to them, and all they need is direction. Next thing, you need to put your child in self-defense. I started my oldest son, and I'm not getting into their story because they're all grown adults getting married and having children and going off into the world, and I won't have this thrown in their face one day. Oh, your mom was on the internet. But my kids, what happened to them was horrific. I have 4 healthy adults now. None of them are on drugs. None of them are suicidal, and none of them abuse children. How did we get from point A after the abuse to there? Well, I went back to church with them. Well, I was angry. You can ask my daddy. Some of y'all watch Papa Sammy. I screamed at God. I cussed at God. I was so angry. But I was never mad at God. I was mad at Samantha because there were warning signs. Little bells kept going off. And I just didn't see it till it was too late. I hated myself. But this is a child's story, not my own. So, went back to church. I raised them up in the way that they should go, and they have not departed from it. I raised them with boundaries, firm boundaries, because unfortunately, children who are sexually molested and or physically molested put their hands on other children in inappropriate ways, and the parents, being parents, make excuses. Well, it's not his fault. He's only 6. That was done to him, but it is his fault. And you have to handle it gently because that is just a child. But a kid who was physically abused tends to be violent when they get emotional or upset. So you have to retrain their brains. One way to do that is martial arts. You put them into activities. I put my son in Taekwondo when he was 4. He was a black belt when he was 6. He was the youngest ever in Denham Springs, Louisiana. 6 years old, and he could break 4 inches of wood. And look at him now. Look at him now. How did I pay for it? I was a single mom with 3 kids going through divorce court, criminal court. Yeah, you get it. I cleaned for the people. I cleaned for them. I cleaned the mats. I worked all day as a teacher, brought my babies to my mama, took Samuel to Taekwondo, and then I cleaned the bathrooms, answered the phone, signed people up, and would give them a little bit of money when I had extra money. You work it out. You make it happen. All right? I put him in T-ball. Why? Because team sports are builders. He learned when it was appropriate to run from first base to second base. Just can't run because you want to. You run when you're told to. You run when you're allowed to. Boundaries, folks. Boundaries. We had set bedtimes. No excuses. You know, he wasn't allowed to just walk up and touch people. You had to have permission. You have to reteach your children. Same with my daughters. When they were old enough, boom, right into martial arts. Yes, my girls, both of them are black belts. So is my youngest son. All 4 of my kids can handle their business with weapons and without. Why? Because my kids aren't victims. They're survivors. And your children can be too. But they can't survive if you can't survive. They won't survive if you won't get it in your head that, yes, this happened. And yes, it was horrible. But they're still alive, which means they can survive it. You can survive it. That's all I've got to say on this topic. Do not fail your children. had a Christian psychotherapist tell me this one time. Samantha, if you are not okay, your children will not be okay. I was like, well, that's a hell of a thing to say to me after everything I've gone through in 2 years. I weighed 105 pounds. I weigh 185 now. Can you imagine? Never done drugs in my life, so it wasn't drugs, it was stress. 3 kids. She said, you have to get okay. I said, I don't know how to do that. She said, well, you get up, you take a bath, you wash your hair, you go to work, you love on them, you feed them, you put them in bed. And I had my parents, thank God, who would not let me make my kids victims. I see too many parents, when their kids are abused or hurt, go the opposite and give them everything and let them get away with everything. And now you have another person perpetrating harm onto children because no one ever taught them that it was wrong. Because they were a child when it happened. The person that did it may or may not have gone to jail, may or may not have been removed from their life. Some people just let it keep happening. But I'm not talking to those people. I'm talking about you people trying to save your kids after this happens. Hear me and hear me now. Your children are survivors. They are not victims. I'm done. I'm emotionally done. This was a very hard topic for me. I love you guys very much. If you don't have something nice to say, get off my channel because I'll block you. I'm not listening to the excuses. It's for me, my house, we will serve the Lord. We are survivors. We are more than enough. He is more than enough. So if you'd like to support our channel, look in the top of comments. I love you guys. Good night.